Dan Walker, his girlfriend Parker O'Neill, and his best friend Joe Lynch travel to a ski resort to enjoy a day on the slopes. On the evening of their final night, the three friends convince the ski lift operator to let them go on one last run down the mountain before the resort closes for the week due to incoming weather. The ski lift operator gets relieved from duty by a second operator. The first operator advises the second one that there are 3 people who still needed to come down, but the second operator mistakes 3 mingling skiers for Dan, Parker, and Joe, and shuts down the chairlift, leaving the 3 friends trapped many feet above the ground. Trapped on the ski lift chair, the trio awaits rescue, enduring a snowstorm as the hours pass. A snow groomer arrives below them, but its driver fails to notice them. Realizing that no one knows their whereabouts and that they won't survive being stranded on the chairlift before they are rescued, Dan jumps off the chair. The impact fractures both of Dan's legs, leaving him completely unable to move. Parker and Joe attempt to find a way down to help him, but a pack of wolves soon arrive. Unable to reach him, Joe and Parker can only listen helplessly as Dan is torn apart by the wolves. Grieving over Dan's death, Parker and Joe blame each other for their friend's tragic passing before comforting each other. Initially indifferent of each other, the two share their history of dating, with Parker later admitting that Dan was someone she wanted to marry. The next morning, Joe makes another attempt to make his way down by clasping onto the chairlift cable. The vibrations cause the securing bolt of the chair to loosen. With the razor-sharp cable having severely injured his hands, Joe makes it onto a nearby support tower, clambering down the service ladder. On the ground, he is confronted again by the gathered wolves, though he fights them off with a ski pole. Promising Parker that he'll return with help, Joe travels down the mountain on Parker's discarded snowboard, with the wolves pursuing after him. Now alone, Parker endures another night aboard the chair while awaiting help. Joe does not return by the next day, so Parker attempts to reach the support pole herself. As she stands in the chair, the securing bolt disconnects and the lift falls to a few meters above the ground, now held aloft by a single tether wire. Parker jumps from the chair, but unable to bear the load, the tether snaps and the chair falls, crashing onto Parker's ankle, though she has fallen safely to the ground. Parker begins to slide and crawl down the mountain. Halfway down, she encounters the wolves feasting on Joe's mutilated corpse. Too occupied with eating, they ignore Parker as she continues down, eventually reaching a road and attempting to flag down a passing car. While it fails to notice her, another soon appears and the driver stops, taking her to a local hospital, telling her that she will be okay. Parker closes her eyes, remembering Dan's words to her.